Winning by Default, a series of short stories about the joys and pain of a young black boy growing up as a poor Mississippi sharecropper during the Jim Crow era. This podcast reveals a roller coaster ride of disappointments and balanced dues while this young African American comes of age. And now, let's join Dr. R.C. Bethel as he tells his story, episode by episode, on Winning by Default.
Winning by Default by Roger Bethel. Introduction. This book was written to provide much more than a glimpse into the life of an African American man who grew up as a Mississippi sharecropper, but had a determination to seek a better life. It was a determination that never left him. In this book, you will see several transparent aspects of faith, wisdom, work ethics, personal and cultural history, along with weaknesses and strengths. Like so many other young men of humble beginnings who feel trapped by circumstances beyond their control, I was desperate to make an escape from a life of hard work that ended each year with a balance due. We actually owed more money at the end of the year than we did the year before. Under those circumstances, we could never get out of debt. So out of desperation for a better life, I took the first chance I could get to leave those conditions behind and go north to the land of opportunity. With no plans and very little preparation, but a passion for pursuit of happiness, I was driven to grab my slice of the American pie, a move that eventually enabled me to reach back to my loved ones left behind in Mississippi. After leaving Mississippi, I pursued many ideas and followed a wide range of different routes while trying to become successful. In my efforts to fast track to the top, I was transformed into a professional radio personality.
From old school to new school, from contemporary to traditional, the real soul music. And now, here's your host, Roger Bethel.
Well, greetings, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Gospel Worship and Praise. This is part 2 in a 4-part series on the history of African American gospel music. Now, during this series, we'll be dealing with the origin, traditions, transitions, and trends of gospel music. For the next hour, we'll be turning the spotlight off and on two of the most prominent figures in the field of gospel music, the late James Cleveland and Andre Crouch. Working radio in 2 major markets did not quench my thirst for success. I went on to become a national figure for a major record company. While still empty inside, I pursued a career as a television broadcast journalist.
An informed source told News Center 15 today that he is aware of several cases in which the chief has been accused of criminal activity involving payoffs. In one particular incident, he allegedly promised to change a charge for money.
He had told her if she would give him $200.
Roger Bethel, News Center 15, Shelby. And finally, a broadcast electronic media educator.
Mr. Bethel have been very, very helpful. Anytime I need assistance with camera, with students, with lessons, they are there for me. They're like my right hand.
In addition to searching for success, I was also trying to find out who I was. Some things I share in this book are to caution you to take a different route from that which I travel. By doing so, you will avoid some of the pitfalls I experienced. Other aspects of my life are revealed to encourage you to use the gifts you have to get what you need. When you sit on your gifts, you get nothing. I've always believed in the old saying, it's better to try and fail than to fail because you never tried. Even when I didn't have a plan, I tried anyway. Consequently, I've never been afraid to step out of my comfort zone to make a move for upward mobility. Winning by default is better than losing by design.
Thank you for sharing with us on this episode of the book, Winning by Default, available at Amazon.com for only $14.95.